All right, so we're going to do an angle bisector construction today. So you need to have a protractor and a compass for those two. So make sure you have those two things at hand. All right, so we're going to start by just constructing an angle. So there's the two sides. I'm just going to do an acute angle.
Open or close?
All right, so there's my vertex. All right, so once you have your angle drawn, you're going to take your compass, all right, open it to a certain width, which I already have mine kind of opened, and I'm going to put that sharp point there on my vertex and just swing an arc through the angle. Now that's going to create 2 points on those rays, or the sides of the angle. All right, so let's label everything here. That's A, we'll call this angle B, and there's my C. Alright, so to bisect the angle, we're going to take our compass and just, I'm going to keep it actually at the width that I used when I did my original arc. But I'm going to put my sharp point, my needle point or whatever, on that A. And I'm just going to swing an arc in the interior of my original angle, just like so. You see that there's the arc right there. Okay, right there. Now, leaving it open the same amount, I'm not changing the radius at all of my compass. I'm now going to go to my other point, point C, and do the same thing. I'm going to swing an arc in the interior of the angle. What's going to happen is that those two arcs should intersect at a point. So, we are going to take our straight edge, which is going to be the side of my protractor, and I'm going to connect my vertex with that point of intersection of the arcs. And that point of intersection should actually be the point that lies on the angle bisector. Okay? And I always like to kind of erase some of my markings here, just lighten it up a little bit so you can actually see the whole picture. So just make these a little lighter. Okay, so now let's call this point that was on my angle bisector point D. Now there's a couple things that we know about this angle bisector. If you were to take your protractor and measure each of these angles, you would see that the angles are equal in measure, which means they're also congruent figures. So to mark that in the sketch, we put a little arc and a tick, arc and a tick. And that tells me that angle ABD is congruent to angle DBC. Okay? And if the angles are congruent, then we know that their measures are equal, so we can say that the measure of angle ABD equals the measure of angle DBC.